Why? Why? Welcome back to Wrestling with Horror. Today we're going to talk about The Munsters, the Rob Zombie directed remake of the classic, beloved family sitcom. And I'll be honest, I don't know what the heck they were thinking when this got greenlit. And my initial thought is I think I would have almost rather had Rob Zombie take this movie and completely Rob Zombify it. Make it vulgar, make it grimy, dirty. I think that would have been a little better. This was horrible. Before we get going on the full review, I just want to say thank you to everybody who is supporting the channel. If you haven't done it already, please hit that subscribe button. My goal is to hit 100 subscribers by the end of October. So please help me achieve that goal and share the channel with all your friends. Anyway, so The Munsters, directed by Rob Zombie, starring Sherry Moon Zombie. Who would have thought? Well, you know, I was interested when I first heard that they were making a new version of The Munsters. And then I heard Rob Zombie was directing it, and my first thought was, oh God, he's gonna ruin it. And well, I think he achieved that. Maybe not the way I thought he would ruin it, but I think he definitely has ruined this property. So, my initial intrigue was completely ruined by the abysmal trailer that we got a while back. I had no hope for this film whatsoever. I did not expect anything good to come out of this. I was not expecting any redeemable qualities whatsoever. That being said, I will say there are a few and far between tiny little aspects that I thought were at least nice little Easter eggs for me in my horror fandom, I suppose. There were little sprinkles of Universal monsters, like there was a poster of the original Mummy movie starring Boris Karloff. There was actually a clip from that where he's playing Imhotep. There was a clip from Creature from the Black Lagoon and the posters for those movies behind them, and the creature even on the couch with them. Things like that. It was not all bad. Well, it was all bad. But those little tiny little Easter eggs at least helped me justify to myself why I was continuing to watch this garbage. I don't know how else to say it. But you know what? Okay, so first I will say that I do think the movie would have played better in black and white. Some of the little cheesiness and absurdity would have looked better and hid some of the flaws in the production design and that kind of thing. I heard that Rob Zombie wanted it black and white, but the studios vetoed that. I don't know why they made that kind of decision. If they did, shame on you, studio. Because I think that would have helped it just a hair. It would have not made it, it would not have redeemed this film completely, though. Another thing that bothers me about this film is that the characters are played so over the top, starting with Herman Munster himself. Now, Fred Gwynne is an iconic actor. His voice is even more iconic, and when you put Jeff Daniel Phillips in that role, his voice does not match the character whatsoever. He's tall, sure, but his voice is way too high-pitched to play Herman Munster, in my opinion. And then you get Sherry Moon Zombie, Rob Zombie's wife, who is in every single movie that he makes. Which, you know, more power to him. If he wants to put his wife into everything he does, that's fine, whatever. But her acting as Lily Munster is so... It's like she's trying to copy the original so much that it almost becomes insulting. Like, she's not trying to put any of herself into the role. She's trying to emulate every little tiny nuance and action and verbiage, all of it. She's trying to reenact that, and it just does not work. It does not work. The only character that I feel retains a little bit of the quality he had from the TV show is Grandpa, played by Daniel Roebuck in this film. Now, it was not my favorite part of the film. I don't like necessarily the character's motivations and all that throughout the biggest portion of the movie. Not a fan. But at least I thought he looked the most like the original character. I thought the voice was very similar. So that was a positive aspect of this. The house. The house looked very good. The set design in the house was very good at the very end of the movie. But my biggest problem with this film is that, and maybe not everybody's going to get this reference, but I know some people will. If you've ever been to Kings Island during their Halloween season, they have those dinner shows in the big cafeteria area. I felt like this entire movie was one of those cheesy, ridiculous, dumb dinner shows. And you know what? I'm sure everybody here did their best. I think Rob Zombie's writing is subpar at best, and I think that shows a lot in this film as well. I know it sounds like I am just tearing this movie apart, and in some ways I am. You know what? They made a movie. Rob Zombie, for better or for worse, is not afraid to go make the movie he wants to make and just do it how he wants to do it. More power to him. You got to have a little bit of respect for somebody who does things like that. But this movie was not for me. I don't imagine it's going to be for a lot of people. It was bathed in such weird neon lights throughout the whole thing. It felt like it should have had an epilepsy warning. So this is not a movie that I ever see myself watching again. I think I'm going to stick to the original 1960s sitcom that ran for 2 seasons. I don't really know what else to say. I found a few positives to take away from it, but that is not nearly enough to save this. I'll just go ahead and say it. I think it's a dumpster fire of a movie. So those are my thoughts on the remake of The Munsters that just premiered on Netflix. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comment section. Did you like the movie? If you did, tell me why. Tell me what aspects worked for you, what didn't. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and tell everybody you know about Wrestling with Horror, because October is right around the corner. There's so many wonderful things coming up in that month. It's going to be so much fun, so please do not miss it. My name is Andrew Dreamer, and I will see you next time on Wrestling with Horror.